श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Suprabhatam. We will chant the 17th verse onwards. भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्कृङ्करणी। कुरुते गङ्गा सागरगमनं व्रतपरिपालनमथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीनः सर्वमतेन भजति न मुक्तिं जन्मशतेन। सुरमन्दिरतरुमूलनिवासः शय्याभूतलमजिनं वासः सर्वपरिग्रहभोगत्यागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः। योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव। भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। Acharya and the Shishyas of Shankaracharya, while talking about the delusions created till now, is asking us to divert our mind. Acharya said, Jnana vihinaha sarvamatena muktim janmashatena na bhajati. Unless one gains jnanam, mukti is not possible. This we saw yesterday. In fact, day before yesterday, we had also seen the shloka Yogaratova, Bhogaratova. We had missed out this one shloka. As long as the 17th shloka we saw, Acharya talking about all the delusions in human mind. And from the 18th he starts, what is the glory of the knowledge, what is the glory of Atma Vidya, and what is the glory of Sannyasa. He says, this person is extremely happy, sukhi. Who is that person? The one who has no possessions whatsoever. No relationship whatsoever. No obligations whatsoever. No transactions whatsoever. Now see, as we saw yesterday and day before, these four are the major cause for mental distraction, mental stress and strain. When these four are not there, such a person is called actually a sannyasi. He may have the akar robe or he may not have the akar robe. He may have taken sannyasa, he may not have taken sannyasa. This is only a reminder time and again. And an indication for the others. But actually speaking, the one who has renounced all these four are the people who are extremely happy, and the very nature of such a person is being talked about. Sura mandira taru moola nivasaha. He might be in some temple somewhere. Mandira, Sura Mandira means temples. He might live in a temple. Taru moola nivasaha. He might be lying down in the bark of a tree, the roots of a tree, with the sky as the blanket, the stars and moon as the lights, and eternally air conditioned without any repairs. He is eternally happy. Sangaratova sangavi ala. Shayya bhutalam. Shayya meaning what? What is a bed? Shayya means bed. Bhutalam, the earth is the bed. He may get at the root of a tree or he may sleep somewhere on the ground. Bhutalam, and he has got the biggest bed. The whole earth is his bed. Shayya bhutalam. Ajinam vasaha. Ajina means animal skin. It need not be always tiger skin. He is not insistent upon that also. Any skin, sometimes it can be a bark of a tree. It can be so many, anything. In fact, there is no rhyme or rule for that for him. Anything that can cover, he covers for the sake of others, not for himself. Otherwise, you see Jaina Munis at the highest order who don't wear anything. Sarvatyagaha. Ajinam vasaha. Sarva parigraha bhogatyagaha. Now this is a very, very important point. Tyagaha is what? Here, sarva parigraha bhogatyagaha. He renounces the attitude of bhoga in all the things and beings of the world, even though he is amidst them. Meaning what? As I gave the example of Swamiji, Param Puja Gurudev, he may enjoy a coffee, but coffee does not decide his enjoyment. He is happy even probably without a coffee. Think. Meaning, in our case, we have defined this is the one which will give me happiness. Tea may not, it can be other way. Somebody may be very happy with tea. They may not like coffee because it is very, the taste is very different. Tea is comfortable. So there are some people who may not like both. They might like Bonvita or Horlicks or etc. All these things, in our case, we are dependent on them for my happiness. But Acharya very beautifully describes Bhoga Tyagaha, meaning he has no dependency on the external objects for his joy. He may use them, he may not use them. Both doesn't make any difference. Sangaratova, in the next shloka we found Sangaratova Sangavihinaha. This can also mean association with things or objects or situations or people. Why is it so? Because he is reveling all the time in the highest principle. Yasya chittam brahmani ramate. Nandati eva. For him it is happiness only. He does not depend upon external factors. Sarva parigraha bhoga. Parigraha bhoga is what? Accumulating for the sake of enjoyment. He accumulating all the materials and people for the sake of enjoyment, and he cannot live without them, he cannot enjoy without them. Such situation is not there. He may be amidst things, he may be amidst people, he may be amidst several situations, but he is ready. At the drop of the hat, he is ready to just walk away. Because they do not bind him. Think. In our case, if that morning coffee will not be there, if that morning newspaper is not there, if that, that particular serial while we are watching at that time, at the right time, I don't know how it happens, at the right time power will go. At that time you should see the mental conditions of the people who are inside the TV almost. Oh, what an amount of retaliation, what an amount of rebel, what an amount of distraction. My God. And there are some people who use filthy language to scold that person who is unknown. Dependency. But here is a person who has no attachment whatsoever, who has nothing to do with anything whatsoever. He may use it, he need not use it. Sarva parigraha bhogatyagaha. And then the last line says, the punchline of the shloka, kasya sukham nakaroti viragaha. Vairagyam is non-dependency. Non-dependency is that which does not have happiness in them. He is happy in spite of their absence. Therefore, anything that I am dependent upon will definitely only give me sorrow at a later time. It can never give me happiness. That is why Acharya said in Sadhana Panchakam, Bhava sukhe doshaha anusandiyatam. In the sukha of the bhava, in the sukha of samsara, doshaha anusandhiyatam, continuously see. Now, do we mean to say he is pessimistic? No. He is practical. He is direct. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihinaha. Yasya chittam brahmani ramate nandati eva. 3 times nandati, nandati, nandati eva. Meaning what? It is only to establish that he has no other experience other than being happy. Come what may, let anything happen. In our English we say, let the world collapse. Is it not? He is undisturbed. He revels in that supreme. Now the next shloka is one of the most oft quoted and most wonderful shloka. We will see. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita Sakridapiyena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena Charcha. I am so addicted to listening to M.S. Subbalakshmi. My tune also went haywire to is attached to her. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita. Again I went there. Anyway, it is okay. We will chant after the explanation because now my mind is stuck. This is what is called as getting stuck. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita Ganga Jalalava. Again I am going there. So we will leave it right now. Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Matavadhanam Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita Sakridapiyena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena Charcha. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Do you know how this happened? Because this shloka is very favorite to me. This shloka is extremely favorite to me. Therefore, what I had done earlier when I was learning, I used to rewind and keep on listening to it so many times that it has got stuck in my mind. Right. In any field of activity, there are 2 aspects to it. The first one is the theory aspect, and the second one is the practical aspect. I am sure many of us in our college days must have thought theory is boring. It's nice to have practicals all the time. Theory, at the end I will just go through like that and write something. Practicals is very important. Such thoughts have always been there in our educational time. But Acharya has very beautifully described that part here. Every branch of knowledge, secular or sacred, every branch of knowledge, both of them are equally important. Theory is important and practical is equally important. Without theory, practicals are disastrous. And without practicals, theory is useless. Remember this always. Without theory, practical is disastrous, and without practicals, theory is useless. Now see, Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita. Adhita means study, gaining the knowledge. And Bhagavad Gita kinchit. Here it refers to Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is what? Self-study and study about the self. Unless and until we know what it is, we cannot experiment. Like, anybody would take the example of a chemistry lab. Without knowing the properties of every chemical that is kept, we cannot take anything and everything and start mixing. Sometimes it can blast. Is it not? Very dangerous. Therefore, I should learn the properties of every chemical properly so that I can use my intelligence and the knowledge which was given in the theory class to do some experiment on them without causing issues, without causing any bad results. Therefore, learning is very important at the outset. Knowledge, very many people come and tell me, Swamiji, you tell me the meaning, then I will come to Vedic chanting class. Every Acharya always insists, first learn the chanting. Half of the words are familiar to us. If you look at any stotra, any shloka, right, this is the glory of our culture. Right from childhood, our elderly generation have used such words again and again, and the context for which it is used is known, well known. And therefore, since half of it or even sometimes more than half we already know, and a few more have to be known and then connected appropriately. Once we learn the chanting, in this example, let us say, once we learn the chanting properly, then gaining the meaning also is very easy. Once we gain the meaning of that what we chant, then chanting has a different experience. Once I know, if people say I should know the meaning only, then chanting will, this is useless, tarka for escaping. Useless tarka for escaping. Think. The child, when we taught the child, he, she, it, that, etc., the child may learn first the shabda and then you teach them the meaning. Think. Does the child know the grammar, how to, what is the grammar behind that? No, the child just learns. Then relating it with situations is much easier. Now see, Bhagavad Gita is one of the greatest texts in the universe. If you take Mahabharata, 1,00,000 shlokas. Take Valmiki Ramayana, 24,000 shlokas. Bhagavatam, 18,000 shlokas. And one part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita, 700 or 701 shloka. Why is it to be learned? Because I should know what is being told there, and then application of that knowledge in my life will definitely make my life more beautiful. How can application of anything is possible without knowing it? Therefore, even in the Taittiriya Upanishad it is said, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Swadhyaya and then pravachana. Swadhyaya is what? Swa-adhyayanam. I have to first study properly. Every value that is talked about in our Shastra are those which have tremendous value, tremendous validity for all time, and tremendous reason for us to know, so that what we are actually seeking is available with the knowledge of that. Kinchid adhita. Parampuja Gurudev used to give a very beautiful example. This is a 123,000 lakh people have already told this example. I am again repeating the same example. Doesn't matter. You listen. There was one family who wanted to travel from one city to another city. So they went to the railway station and they bought the ticket, and all were sitting in the platform waiting for the train to come. The old man, they have these old trunks, you see, to carry. He sat on the trunk. The mother was holding the child because the child was restless. This man was getting very restless because train has not come. And when the train came, suddenly the whole lot of people, you must have watched that, whole lot of people want to get into the train in spite of reservation. I can't understand this concept at all. In spite of reservation, their seats are confirmed, but everyone wants to rush and get inside. And the train will definitely stop for 15-20 minutes. Yes, it's a junction. And he was shouting, "Don't go here, go here, go here, go there, go there, go there. Lift this one," like that. He was shouting at his wife. Naturally, he can't shout at others. And the train started. That suitcase, that trunk is there, this suitcase, that is there. And finally he found that his wife is not there. And the old man, he was sitting quietly and probably reading Ramayana. He never bothered what happened. Why? Son is meant for that. He has to take care of all that. So he was reading Ramayana. And that fellow got so irritated. "You old fellow, I am not able to find my wife now. Train has started. I don't know whether she has got into the train, and you are reading Ramayana." And then he shouted at him, and then he went and he saw his wife coming from the other compartment. She came. After settling down, and after some time, after all, mind keeps changing its moods. And when everything was okay, the old man slowly told him, "My dear son, if you had read Ramayana, this situation would not have come." That time the man had settled down, the mind also settled down. Though that little, you always have the irritation to the elderly people, common general factor. The younger generation generally have some irritation with the elderly people because they always talk good things. They always advise. And these people are, they have aversion to advices. The son looked at his father. The father said, in Ramayana, when Ramchandraji, Sitaji, Lakshmanji had to get into the boat, Lakshmanji held the boat, and Ramchandraji first made Sitaji get into the boat, and then he got into the boat. What did you do? You never bothered in that at that time of at that situation. You only thought of taking all the things and you pushed me inside. You got in. You never bothered about your wife. In case you had read Ramayana, you would have made your wife get in first and then you would have got in. Look at this small situation. This might be a small story. We don't know whether it is the true or it's a made story. But look at the story, how beautifully it depicts how our mind works, and with the knowledge of a scripture like Ramayana, how beautifully our mind can evolve in its very own functioning. This is the purpose of learning. So that our application will be much, intelligence oriented. Now here, Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadita, in the same Bhagavad Gita it is said, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpamapi. Here, Bhagavad Gita Kinchid. Even if you learn little bit of Bhagavad Gita, you don't have to learn all the 18 chapters. Little if you learn, it will definitely help you to be a better personality. Which also indicates learning. Theory of the subject matter is very important for application. And the next point, Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Kanika means just a drop, little. Ganga Jala Kanika Pita. Even if you drink a little bit of Ganga Jal, this indicates tapas. We will explain. Ganga Jala is there available in Kashi. Kashi to Ganga Sagara, it is available. We will take the example of people like me who is in down south Mysuru. Most of us go for a pilgrimage towards Ganga, towards Haridwar, Rishikesh, etc. A pilgrimage is a very important aspect in everybody's life. It is not just a trip. It is not just a picnic. It has got tremendous information. It has got tremendous value. We will analyze. A pilgrimage takes you away from the comfort zone which we are living in. At home, we have every facility, 300 or 400 times more than required. Is it not? That much of facility we make at home, and we are living a cozy life, we are living a very comfortable life at home. Therefore, we don't understand the pains that are seen out in the world. Because of the comfort situation with which we are living in, we are addicted to those very comforts itself, and any little discomfort, we are shaken, we are disturbed, we are in stress, we are strained, pained, and we suffer, and then we lament about it also, foolishly. Think. Coming out of the comfort zone means that I must be ready to accept the limitations of the outer world. I must be ready to accept the limitations, meaning what? I may not get such comforts outside. Similarly, similar to pilgrimage is our camps. We used to take people for camps. We have gone to for a camp to Lonavala. We have gone for camps to Siddhabadi, where Parampuja Gurudev's ashram is there, Chinmay, Tapovanam. In fact, way back in 1988, for the first time, I had been to that place called Siddhabadi in Himachal Pradesh. Cold goes down to -2, -3 degrees. We had never ever experienced such cold. When we went there, our place, our room where we were hosted is something 2 kilometers away in a nurses' hostel there. There is a nursing facility, and the nurses' hostel is a nursing training school. And nurses' hostel there, 1.5 about 2 kilometers. Those days classes were not there during that camp. So they all had gone to their native. Those places were used for our stay, volunteer stay. And you have to walk. And in between this camp, the ashram and the nurses' hostel, that 2 kilometers, there are no buildings, no light, nothing. We have to hold a torch and we have to go there. Everybody will be walking like snakes, and everything will be walking around like you and me. It is so cold, one full sweater and a shawl almost appeared insufficient. Those are the conditions in which people live there. Think. And there are so many people who come for the camp. Even though they come for the camp, they expect a lot of conveniences and comfort there. They want heater in the room, etc., etc. So many people complain, Swamiji, this pitch cold, how can we be attentive in the class? And one man said, Swamiji, a humble request. What is it? Can you please move the meditation class in the morning from 5:30 to 6:30? Allah. Yeah, 5:30, can you move it to 7 o'clock? Because till 7 it is very, very cold. Gurudev said, okay, from tomorrow the meditation class will start at 5 a.m. Earlier class was at 5:30. Now he made it 5 a.m. We are not accustomed to any situation other than the comfort zone we are in. Think. We have to walk out of the comfort zone to know the reality of life. If we are thus stuck in that comfort zone, the mind will not open itself to receive the knowledge. Any situation, any condition, the mind must be ready to learn. Acharya says, Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita means go for a pilgrimage. When you go for a pilgrimage, all those comforts which you have at home will not be there. They will teach you how to live without the comforts. Think. Living without the comforts, how does the mind respond? It will also give you the knowledge of how dependent I am with those conditions, external conditions. Think. Therefore, one has to undergo what is called as tapas. What is tapas? Tapas is that condition which I accept in spite of what it is, however it is, in whichever condition it may be. I am ready to accept. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsasi. Sukha dukhe same kritva shitoshna sukha dukkeshu samaha sangha vivarjitaha. All such statements are given in the Bhagavad Gita, which again prepares us to prepare for the worst. Think. Look at the condition now in our world. Corona has brought so much of change in the world, good and bad. Think. Every situation in the world can be a pain, suffering, stressful, or can be a beautiful ray of knowledge for us to gain, accept, assimilate, and abide in that inner self which does not require any outer condition to be happy. Therefore, tapascharya is what? Tapascharya is I move out of my comfort zone and yet remain happy, yet remain undisturbed, yet remain unconcerned. Our mind is so conditioned. This is how I want. This is how it should be. This is how everything should be. This is how they should think. This is how these people should think. Why are they not thinking like me? Why are you not thinking like them? Think. When somebody else expects me to be this way, I am not. How can I expect them to be the way I want them to be? How can I expect the situation to be the way I want it to be? We have people who complain for every damn thing. Summer, so hot, so hot, so hot. Winter, it is so cold, so cold, so cold. Rainy, ayyappa, when will this rain end? For everything we have people complaining. And there are people, agate swagatam. Accept. And when you thus accept everything as they are, the life is so beautiful. The life is so wonderful. The life is open to every kind of knowledge. Think. The life will provide you so much of knowledge. When the mind is open, it can easily acquire maximum knowledge. And when the same thing is applied, you will find that such a person is extremely happy all the time. And the next line, Sakridapiyena Murari Samarcha, is another very beautiful line which indicates worship. We will see this tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.